They're making him uncomfortable. Stop. Oh, here. This is what I was going to show you. So yesterday, for those of you who weren't here, yesterday, Joseph Robinette Biden went to Dearborn to celebrate the announcement of Ford's electric pickup truck. They're making an EV, and he's at the Ford Electric Vehicle Center in Dearborn, Michigan. Now, why is this a significant news story? It's just the president doing, president things. Well, it's a significant news story because Dearborn is the largest Muslim population in the United States of America. Like, literally the largest Muslim population in the U.S. And the reason why this is significant is because he's going to Dearborn after 2 weeks of Israeli rocket fires eviscerating the occupied Palestinian territory of Gaza, murdering a bunch of civilians, nearly 200 or 300, almost 300 people have died so far. A fuckload of kids and women and children have been murdered by Israel, by Israeli artillery or by Israeli precision guided missiles and air fire. And this is, of course, happening as the Joe Biden administration has continued to, one, play defense for Israel, and two, talk about how they are unconditionally supporting Israel's right to defense, as though like there is some sort of like offensive defense, like blowing up media buildings or blowing up hospitals or schools or blowing up the only COVID center or killing the only neurosurgeon in Gaza, like as though these are defensible positions, like as though this is an act of defense. It's ridiculous. So not only that, but the American administration has also blocked the UN Security Council, the UN Security Council investigation, or at least meetings into starting the ceasefire process, and they're doing it at the behest of the Israeli authorities, who want this relentless bombing campaign to continue. So Joe Biden, on top of that, triples down by solidifying a $735 billion arms deal to Israel while all of this is going on. So their position on Israel is very clear. They're like, fuck the Palestinians. We don't give a shit about human rights. We don't give a shit about war crimes. We're with Israel 100% of the way. And then he turns around and fucking rears his ugly face in Dearborn, Michigan, in front of the largest. Did I say billion? No, I meant million. 735 million. 735 million with an M. I don't think I said billion. Anyway, this was, of course, on top of the $3.8 billion we give to Israel every year. Another deal that was secured under the Obama-Biden administration. So, having said all of this, he goes to fucking Dearborn, to the largest Muslim population. That's really fucked up for him to just like show face like this. But to add insult to injury, during his speech in Dearborn, Biden addressed Rashida Tlaib and fucking called her Rashid. Okay? And then did a hearts and prayers like RIP to your grandma living in the fucking West Bank, but like, I'm going to keep giving weapons to Israel and she might fucking die. Sorry.
John, Debbie, you're and Representative Dan Kildee is a good friend. Representative Brenda Lawrence. And by the way, be careful what you say to Representative Slotkin. She knows more than you. They may be watching you. Where are you? I tease her all the time.
Yeah, I tease
She's
her,
a
Jack.
great addition to the Congress. And Rashid Tlaib, where's Rashid?
Rashida, whatever. One of the Muslim names, Jack. Come on, give her a round of applause. We're gonna cut the malarkey, Jack. We're gonna murder your grandma, Rashid.
I tell you what, Rashid, I want to say to you that I admire your intellect, I admire your passion, and I admire your concern for so many other people. And it's from my heart. I pray that your grandmom and family are well. I promise you I'm going to do everything to see that they are on the West Bank. You're a fighter, and God, thank you for being.
Like, why are you praying, dog? You can do something about this. Like, Joe Biden, uniquely is one of the very few human beings on this planet that could single-handedly do something to immediately improve the material conditions of Rashida Tlaib's grandmother currently living in the occupied West Bank. It is an ongoing international human rights violation that the Israeli occupation routinely engages in, and they're doing it because America defends them. And yet, here he is doing like a thoughts and prayers, Jack. Come on, Rashid, look alive. Whereas, like, you know, coming hot off the heels of another weapons deal that he executed with Israel, he's acting like he has no other power here. Like, he's just powerless. You know, thoughts and prayers, Jack. Like, this is like a fucking school shooter personally. You know, the guy who sold weapons to the school shooter personally being like, listen, I know this guy is a school shooter. I gave him some guns, but, you know, thoughts and prayers to all the victims. Like, what the fuck, dude? Don't sell the weapons. Like, what are you doing? And so, yeah, this was very... to say that this is our griever in chief is not exactly doing a great job here is not enough. Bibi has all the power and Biden better know his place. Get the fuck out of here, dude. I'm not saying that like Bibi Netanyahu isn't powerful. I'm not saying that they might not even listen to the United States at this point. But if you think that like if you think that Israel hasn't been able to commit all of these atrocities because the United States not only looks away, but also straight up defends Israel's occupation, you're delusional. You know? Anyway, there's more updates on this story.
And 11, no, a lot of 11s. And Haley Stevens, thank you all as well. And also want to thank Mayor Jim O'Reilly of Dearborn for the past.
It's great.